Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another WABA IG Live conversation. I am your host, Helen Bohanna, where she knows her sports. Happy Friday. And of course, today we got another special guest lined up for you. He is an owner and head coach of one of the 29 teams, but we're going to get to that in just a second. Let me go ahead and give you the rundown of the WABA, and who they are. They are a professional basketball league who extends their platform for female basketball players worldwide who are looking for the opportunity to live out their dream and become a professional and playing in the WNBA or signing a contract to go overseas. They are made up of 29 teams, including Tijuana, Mexico. They are the league of opportunity, but not only for female basketball players. If you want to be a head coach or an assistant coach of a women's professional basketball team, if you want to be a team owner, and speaking of team owners, the WABA league expansion is open until April the 30th of this year. So if you are an inspiring team owner and want to be included into a professional league, please reach out to the WABA. And also, if you have a small business or a sports brand and you want to become a partner, if this is you, please log on to www.womensaba.com and follow them here on Instagram at womensaba. So now, let's get back into it. Let's get back to this conversation. Hey, today's special guest is Mr. Ansaun Fisher. I hope I'm saying his name right. He is the owner and the head coach of the Florida Lady All-Stars. I do see that he has tuned in, so let's tap him on in and get this conversation. Hey, everybody. Let's give it a few more seconds. All right, here he comes. Hey, how you doing?
Right, pretty good.
Thank you again for taking the time out on this Friday afternoon, giving us this good convo. So how you been?
Been pretty good. We're in Florida, so
Okay.
the weather's good.
What's going on in Florida? What's going on down there? Is it cold? Because it's cold here in Atlanta.
No, it's perfect here now.
Don't be bragging. Don't brag. Don't brag. Because how I wish we had some warm weather. So now that the conversation has started, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Ansaun Fisher. I'm the team owner and head coach of the Florida Lady All-Stars in the WABA.
Okay, so do you have, I see you're a coach and a team owner. Do you have an athletic background? If so, can you give us a little bit of insight?
Oh yeah, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I grew up playing sports there ever since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
I grew up, came out of a historic youth league out of Henry Brown Park there in Jacksonville, Florida. And I played quarterback all my life. And I played all the way through high school, basketball and football.
Oh, okay.
Went to college to get a football scholarship at Bethune-Cookman coming out of high school.
Okay, that's what's up. So which was your love though? Was it football or was it basketball, or it was kind of, equal?
It was pretty much equal. I think it's totally different though. Football more, it's more of a gritty type of sport, but I really can say it's equal. I don't love one more than the other. I really come from a high school at First Coast High School in Jacksonville, Florida, school of scholars, I would say, and it was tough there. I remember trying out for the team. It used to be 100 kids for basketball and football, so it was really tough there. But I was fortunate enough, through the grace of God, to graduate being most athletic in my high school in 1997. So my athletic background, it does stem from that, me growing up playing those years.
Okay, so when did it strictly become basketball? Like once you got to college?
Well, I did attend college in Gainesville, Florida as well, and then my roommates in college all played basketball. I roommate with Udonis Haslam. He plays for the Miami Heat.
Whoa.
So me being a football lover, you know, those guys love football too, but it was just basketball, basketball, basketball all year long. So that motivated me to dwell in basketball more so.
Okay, okay, I see. Because again, you become who you around. So
Yeah,
and all that
that's what.
basketball, you had an inquiring mind about it. So okay, that's what's up. So what inspired you to start the Florida Lady All Stars?
Well, starting back, I have a good friend named Mr. Kevin Waters. He was the head coach for the Jacksonville Giants, and he brought me on as a stat coach. And so working with that team, with the men's side of it, and then you know with Miss Marcia years later, Miss Marcia developed with the WABA, and I just thought it was very interesting to be involved in. And I always loved women basketball because I always thought they played it the right way. You know,
What
you
you
know,
mean? What you mean? They played it the right way. What you mean?
well, well, you know, with the guys, you know, they go between their legs and behind their back, but with the women, it's footwork is perfect. The fundamentals, the two hands chest pass, they take their time. I think the fundamentals are uh, almost perfect in women's compared to guys
Okay.
basketball.
Hmm.
So so I really had a desire to be involved in that because I thought it was the right way to play the game.
Okay. So how long have you been involved with women's basketball? Is this like your first encounter with,
Yeah,
or you know?
yeah, this is my first rodeo with it.
Okay.
It's my first encounter. You know, I never coached women's basketball before. I always enjoyed watching it,
Mm-hmm.
but this is my first encounter with it.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what these lady all stars gonna have in store. As I was preparing your questions, I had one of my babies with me, and he came up with a question he wanted me to ask. So, what type of players are you looking for in order to create this team?
Well, first and foremost, characters first. You know, talent matters in some sort, but you know, I'm searching for good character people. You know, that makes more than the talent to me. You know, somebody that's I should say, far as being involved and being a professional,
Mm-hmm.
it matters to me more than the talent. But I'm right here in Gainesville, Florida, and they have very, very nice women's basketball here. They have a high school here called Hawthorne High School, and they had dominant women basketball for years and years, and it's a few others. So the talent is here, you know, in North Central Florida. So to be honest with you, that the pick of the litter is here in North Florida. So we have several talented players to pick from.
Okay, so now that you have everything established, you are now one of the 29, excuse me, teams in the WABA. Can you just give us a little brief synopsis of who the Lady All Stars will be? Like
Well,
just as your team, just describe your team.
well, they will be nice young ladies that definitely will make a strong community effort. As far as dealing with the youth, they will work with the youth. They will coach and train some young boys and girls with AAU basketball as well. We do have 5 teams for us AAU, so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
With the help with that, with the female coaches and basically running the youth girl side of it. So they would definitely have hands on in the community, and not just in Gainesville, Florida, but in all of North Florida. They would participate in that. So it definitely would be young ladies and that's involved in the community heavily here.
All right, that's exactly what I like to hear. So how did the opportunity come about to meet Marcia? Like, shout out to Marcia. Marcia, she's very selfless, got a great heart. You know, she's all about giving people opportunities. So how did you uh, get in contact with her?
Well, I followed her. The first year, I really followed the New Jersey Express, and I seen how well they did the very first
Oh
season.
yeah, they was the champ.
And it was very interesting how I felt as though she just jumped in and just took over for us winning with the WABA. And I really appreciate the momentum that she started out with. And I reached out to her, and I knew it's something I really wanted to be involved in because I was already in the ABA. I'm a team owner with the Florida All Stars men, so
Hmm.
I always knew about it. But when I seen and understand what she was involved in, it was interesting to me, and I said I wanted to be a part of that as well.
Okay. Do you have a full roster? If not, when are you hosting tryouts?
So trials will be on March 13th in North Florida. We actually do two trials in two different cities. Trials will be on March 12th and March 13th in North Florida,
Hmm.
and we'll start with that. We do have some players in mind, and we have been speaking with some young ladies to be a part of it. But as tryouts, we by being the inaugural season, every individual will start training camp at the same time and tryouts before we sign contracts and things like that.
Okay. Well, be sure to make your digital content so we all can support you and share it, and
Without
tag
a doubt.
the state of Florida so we can get you some players out there. Do you have a full team staff? I know you're the head coach, you're the owner, but are you looking for like an assistant coach? Um,
Definitely looking for an assistant coach. And through the grace of God, He's been blessing us to be here in the college town in Gainesville.
mhm.
So, along with the staff and interns, things like that is plentiful here. But we're definitely looking for assistant coach, and we're definitely looking for actually two assistant coaches
Okay.
and athletic trainers and things of sort like that. So the staff is wide open. I will have a helping hand with some of the staff members that's a part of the men's team. Now we will join forces for that, but we're definitely looking for assistant coaches and things like that.
Okay. And how would they be able to get in touch with you? Here on Instagram, or would you like them to contact you via email?
Well, here on Instagram, definitely, and then you got the Florida Lady All Stars with Facebook, and then the website is www.flallstars.com, and the phone number is area code 352-441-6781. My phone line is open to anyone, so they can always reach me on that
Okay.
and on Instagram, like you mentioned.
Okay. So I see you been following closely with the WABA since the beginning, which was 2017. So you've been
Hmm.
a long time supporter.
Right.
How do you? What was your take on them taking this current season off due to what's going on right now with the pandemic?
Well, I know for some team owners and some people, it was a hard blow, but I was raised, in a household that make the best out of every situation. So I just listened to God and kept my eyes open, and it actually has been a blessing for me and my organization. Reason being is you have several athletes that play professionally overseas
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, but due to COVID-19, they all wasn't able to travel back and forth. So my email is blowing up every day with all type of female players that want to join the WABA just because they're at a standstill with their regular professional team overseas. So it makes us blossom more, even though
Oh
it is
yeah.
a pandemic and it's a hard felt situation. But as far as the organization, it makes us bubble a lot more and a lot faster because of that.
Oh yeah, and it stands out that Marcia and and her team, they were all about safety first.
Right,
So that was very important, and it shows what type of foundation and structure that this league has to really, think about their players and their owners and coaches and their families. So, that was,
right.
I
So
they got the utmost respect from me on that. So.
yeah, so most definitely it's challenging on that part because
Mhm.
even along with practice, you have to take practice for as precautions as if it was a game situation. So you really can't practice as much as you want,
Mm.
or we don't as much as we want, and we take full precaution with it because we know that it matters that everybody's safety is first.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't put it at risk because guess what? It's 2021 now, and it's time to resume the season. You
Yeah,
have until August, so it's good that everybody is still taking the necessary precautions because I truly believe that this is like one of the most anticipated seasons that the WNBA has had because
right.
they took the 2020 season off. So I know these girls are ready. Like their court is
Yeah,
calling.
right.
The um what type of marketing campaign are you do you have in motion? Because I know again you don't have your roster yet, but yet you are a new team. The new way of is going virtual and still being able to network and things of that nature, but getting the name of your team out there is very important. So what steps are you taking to bring some attention to your new team and of course the WABA league?
Okay, like we've been so blessed, even here in Gainesville, Florida. The radio stations. We got a gospel radio here.
Mm-hmm.
A young man by the name of Mr. Jerry reached out to me with the helping hand of marketing. Even though before trials start, they already start and will start running ads and interviews and things like that and whatever that it takes to help the marketing get established. They're all for it, and they've been helping me day to day now and interviewing every day about that. So
Great.
the the radio it's been very strong here, and it's gospel radio, and and they do have online, and even right now while we're in season for our men's team, they do live coverage and live remote for that. So that it would definitely be that way for the women's team. So they have a large outlet of marketing and a large number of followers to where it has um it has been helpful already. The wheel is already turning, and I just put it in their hands, and they help out so much on all different angles from business owners locally. They're very connected with everything that we would need to be established for as marketing. They've helped out tremendously already.
Oh wow, that's great. That's what's up. Actually, Marcia asked, what are your thoughts and feelings on MLK Day? It's his
Oh,
birthday celebration.
yeah.
What's your thoughts and feelings on today?
Oh man, I it gives me a nice warm feeling. I mean, my background, I have a grandfather that actually really marched with Martin Luther King. He's out of
Whoa.
Guernsey, Georgia. He's deceased now. But growing up, even with my mom, uh, our history, it goes back to Baxley, Georgia. My mom was the first African American to integrate a high school, and through MLK and my grandfather marching with them in those days, it helped my mom accomplish that.
Mm-hmm.
So in my family tree, it's rich history behind that day. So it's very meaningful, if not one of our favorite holidays, honestly. That's unique.
As
Marsha
it
asked that.
should be.
Yeah, but it means the world to me and my family, honestly.
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty sure.
yeah, it matters.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine if that man was still alive today? Could you
I know.
imagine?
I know.
Like,
I know.
oh my God. Like,
Mhm.
it would just
Yeah,
be like immaculate, just wonderful. And
right.
I'm pretty sure that he'll just always represent his city where he's born and raised and here in Atlanta. Have you been to the tour site, like his house?
Definitely, definitely. I took my daughter to his house last year, and she loved it.
Oh yeah.
And that's the biggest smile I ever seen on her face. My daughter and my son went, and a few of the players went. We played in Atlanta last year, and we visited and toured the house, and it was very, very life-changing experience for us.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I highly recommend that to anyone. You
Yeah,
ever come to Atlanta, it's a must that you visit the Martin Luther King site because man, it's just history, and
Right.
that man was, he changed a lot. He paved the way, especially for our culture. So I just think out of respect, it's a must that if you come here,
Yeah,
you,
you're right.
you
Out of
visit that
respect.
you visit that tour
Yes.
site. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
how have you been coping during the pandemic?
Repeat it one more time.
How how have you been coping during this pandemic?
Oh, I really been quarantining to the fullest
Okay.
because I know so many people do depend on me and count on me. So I really take safety first because it's important. I have a lot of people depending on me.
Oh.
So I take the precautions
Hmm.
to the fullest. This is the first time I took my mask off all day, to do this interview. So, and I have a 4-year-old son that, it's just me and him. So I really have to take the necessary steps to deal with the pandemic that way. So I've been coping with it fairly, but I've been really taking precautions while coping it because I do understand that it is a serious matter.
Okay. Okay. Great, because safety is first, and it's this ain't nothing to play with. I mean,
Right.
it's really not. So it's actually a blessing for those of us who made it this far, without getting sick and
Right.
and things of that nature. So I feel you. I truly understand what you just said on that. Um, Besides the COVID-19, all of this unrest that has been going on in the world, like how is your mental state as a black man? Like how
Mhm.
how do you maintain your mental?
Well, through prayer. And as a black man, I have a strong desire. I wish that we would have a little bit more together, as far as our people, any race in general as well.
Yeah.
It should be more togetherness. I don't know what type of scare that we would have to go through to realize that. But I think the togetherness is distance apart,
Hmm.
and I think it shouldn't be that way, especially when you have the youth paying attention and observing everything. I really think, especially as adults, we should really have more together and work together for a better goal.
Right, right. What type of change do you hope to see?
I hope to see I hope to see the change in which will the violence should really, really simmer down. I think the harmfulness that one human being can do to another, I think that is very detrimental. It's heartbreaking. So I think you know, the change should be that first. That we shouldn't look at harming one each other as being an objective to do anything. So that's one of the main changes I think we should see, and be smarter with our finances. It should be more people in the world that really should be chasing the ownership of business. You know,
Yes.
I mean, it's the way to go. So that is a major change. I think that people should be involved in that, or being a business owner or whatever they desire for their career. Even if they do have a 9 to 5 job, I think they still should own their business. They should still That's still something they should acquire.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of, I know you mentioned you have a 4-year-old son. By the time that he gets old enough to understand, some of the ways of the world, do you see him having a better future?
Honestly, yes, I do. Without a doubt, I do. I do. There's hope for that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I see him having a better future. I think because he's 4 years old,
Hmm.
and his name is Amen Jalen Fisher, and by him being just 4 and being bright and he's very, very smart for a 4-year-old, which is advanced. Look at that. I know with technology and how the way the world's going, like the kids are growing up a lot smarter and faster, and
Oh
they're
yes.
achieving more. So I think he'd be just fine without it. I mean, he's active. He watch film with me every night. He goes to the
Oh,
game. I mean, I only have one problem with him though. When he goes to the game, the players they treat him like he's the coach of the team on his son for real. So all he gets is special treatment. So I don't know if he understands what the real world is about now because everybody catered to him so much. And it was an interesting day when he realized that I was the coach. You know, all of the players kept yelling, "Coach, coach, coach!" And he said, "Dad, so you're the coach." And
oh,
ever since then, he played his coach son role to the fullest, like I never seen no other
as he
kid do.
should. As he
Yeah,
should. Why not? Why not?
yes.
We do have another owner within the WAVA. His team is in Virginia, and his 8-year-old son is the co-owner of the team. So
Oh, yeah, yeah, without a doubt, yeah. That's definitely in the works with us too.
oh yeah,
I like that though. Yeah, I
yeah.
did
Like,
see that
hey, start
before.
him off young. Start him off young
Right.
to because he's 4 already. So by the time he's 8, I'm pretty sure he would have been and absorbed a lot of what you're doing,
Yes.
coaching the team and owning the team. You say he goes to the games and watch film. So yeah, I'm pretty
Oh
sure
yeah.
he'll have a great
Yeah.
understanding of ownership. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Without a doubt.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Get that
Yeah, I'm
young
glad you
man
mentioned that, Tim. I will. I will.
understand. So coming from an owner and lead coach's perspective, tell us why you think it's important to respect female athletes.
It's very important. It's very important to respect female athletes. It's very important. I mean, just the role that they play in professional sports now. We'll take an example. We'll say comparing to the NBA and the WNBA from top to bottom. You know, they handle themselves with class. You know, I can't even remember any incident. Remember, I said character is important to where they're outside of themselves. You know, even though they make far less money, they still don't complain about it. Even though they're professional, just like the NBA players or the WABA, the ABA players, they handle themselves with so much more respect and dignity that it has to be adored. You know, it's so many things that they could bicker about and actually have a point about it, but they just go through the motions and do their job. And it's very few complaints, very few outlandish moments, very few anything that shouldn't happen. They handle it the right way. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so I have the utmost respect for female athletes because, like I said earlier, they do it the right way.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, shout out to you and your genuine support of women in the industry. Um, how do you define the WABA slogan? It's our time. It's those 3 main words that this league lives by. It's our time. So when you hear it, what do you think? What comes to your mind?
Honestly, I really think that it would be bigger than men's basketball someday. So
Okay.
it's our yeah, I really do. I really do. And going into the things I'm saying, it's our time for us. It's a movement, but it's already established. You know, we just have to we're waiting on everybody else to catch up to it. So that's the perfect slogan for it. That's the perfect for it. It's
It
our
is.
time.
It's
It's
short
perfect.
and to the point. So
Right. And it's a lot of strength behind that. And it's a lot of strength that, Marcia carries to it well and she shows that. You know, we got and I have no worries that, she's strong enough to carry the load that she's carrying. I mean, I think she's doing a fantastic job. Everything, I mean, that's the prime example there.
hmm oh yeah, Marcia represents this league very well. Like with class, with dignity. She brings tenacity. She's very positive. She's motivating. She's inspiring.
And
So
patient. She
yes, and
patient.
patient.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She
she's
patient.
very patient. So if I
Yeah.
must say so myself. So thank you
Yeah,
so much.
cause Marcia waited on me a second. I was supposed to have a team a couple years ago with the WABA, and then I needed to cross some more T's and dot some more I's. So now we got that squared away, and then we reached back out to each other, and then she had open arms for me
Oh yeah.
when
Oh
when
yeah, of
I
course.
was ready to come back when I had my business in order.
And
So
and and that's what an understanding person does. So, you know,
right,
I wouldn't. I mean, I truly believe she did do that. There's no doubt in my mind with that. Um, with season 5 coming up, how are you looking to prepare for it? Because I'm gonna tell you now, whoo, these girls play.
yeah,
They play,
right,
and
right,
and with this season boiling up and taking a season off, everybody had enough time to prepare. So
right.
how are you looking to prepare for it?
Well, honestly, we'll expect the challenge from it. We'll expect the challenge because we do know that it's a lot of tough teams. To
Mhm.
me, how I see it being a team on all of them tough. I didn't see any weak links to here as I've been following, and it's tough. So, but I do have the Florida stamp on my back, and we do have another team in Florida right now. But where we sit at in Florida, like I said, we get a chance to pick a various and numerous of talent. So I do believe we'll be able to compete. But it definitely is not going to be easy. Honestly, it's not going to be easy because I know the ladies, they take it serious, and it's going to be competitive.
Mhm.
So we got our work cut out for us. So as me as being team owner, my job is to prepare a lot more hours than I normally would
Mhm.
for this season 5, which would be our first season. But season 5, I know it would be interesting.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You definitely got your work cut out for you. So
Yeah, yeah,
you know, come ready. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
Especially
Awesome.
as a rookie team, you
Yeah.
you, you need to come ready. So describe in one word when the season begins. You got your team formed, and like it's just game day. Describe in one word when we see the Florida Lady All Stars walk the starting five walk into that floor. What comes to your mind? Just one word.
Prestige. Prestige.
Okay. Okay. I like that. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, that's a great description. Um, I know again you've been following the WABA, you're a big supporter, now you're an owner within the league. You have to study your opponents. Who are you looking
Mhm.
forward to playing?
Hmm.
Hmm. Don't be afraid to call them out. Hey, this is the conversation
Yes,
for
I
it.
had to
Don't
think
be
about
afraid to
that one,
do it.
huh? Well, without a doubt, honestly, first thing came to mind is New Jersey and Atlanta,
Uh
and
oh,
with
I
the
knew it. I
yeah
knew it. I'm telling
yeah
you, those are the
it,
the New Jersey, Atlanta, and the coastal city Monarchs, or
right
like the three teams that get called out. You know, DC Cyclones, they get a couple call
yeah
outs too.
yeah yeah they are
So
yeah yeah I do I understand it just shows where I think those two organizations really have been in the forefront, doing it the right way.
yeah,
Even off season, even everything that I follow with them. I mean, they have a great model to follow.
that's what's up.
Honestly, on and off the court.
Oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, and we do have another team out of Jacksonville that's 50 minutes apart from us. Away from us. So they would definitely possibly be an in-state rival
oh yeah.
for us.
Nothing like
As
an
of right
in-state
now.
rival, but that out of state too. So
Yeah,
yeah, this southern region is fire. This southern
yeah,
Whew, it's some great representation in the league from the southern region, but I mean the league as a whole though is just outstanding, just wow. because
Right.
it's up to 29 teams now. Within
Yeah.
a 3-year time span, so that's big.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
huge.
very
That's
big.
fast.
Yeah.
That's moving along very fast.
Oh yeah, very. So, hey, it's the league of opportunity. Why not jump on it?
Right. Yeah. But be ready when you jump on it, right?
Yes, be ready. If you stay ready, you ain't
Yeah.
got to get ready. So be ready.
Right. Yeah.
So last but definitely not least, we got to know who you are, your team, a little bit of your background. Are there any opportunities for a small business to either partner with your team or sponsor a player?
Right. Without a doubt. Yes, that's always open. A sponsorship or businesses, and we just signed official sponsor there yesterday with our men's team. It was local business, a gentleman by the name of Larry Stone. He's a Bells Bomber in North
Mm-hmm.
Florida, and he's a part of the team for sponsorship, and he will be a part of the WAVA team as well. It's called Bowl City Bells Bomber in Jacksonville, Florida. So he stepped right up to the plate. He reached out to me and offered me the opportunity. We spoke about it, went over things, and we jumped on it. And opportunities like that are always open. And that's what I've been grateful and thankful to God that, people reach out to me like that. As much as I try to reach out to people, I have been fortunate that people have been reaching out with sponsorship opportunities to be a part of our league in the WABA.
Oh wow! Well, shout out to that local support. There's nothing like it. Community is family too. So
Right.
long as everybody is on one accord, the community can always rise and continue to build. So I'm happy to hear that. Congratulations on that, and shout out to them. Because that speaks a lot of value, especially like being a new team. That goes to show that somebody's watching. So
Right.
yep, and they truly believe in you.
Definitely.
So that actually concludes our conversation today. Thank you so much again on this Friday. Before you go, I always ask our special guests to close us out with a positive word. So, good thing it's Friday. So, could you close us out with a positive word going into the weekend?
Oh, yes. Okay. We got MLK weekend coming this
Yep,
weekend. So
MLK
everybody
weekend.
stay safe. Everybody stay safe and stay focused. And Ms. Helen, I really appreciate you for having me.
You are so
And
welcome.
yeah, so it just basically staying safe this weekend. Stay clear. What we got going on with the pandemic. So we're moving one step and one day at a time. So like we said earlier, safety first. So it's basically just stay safe.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And just know this is your first interview on this platform, so you cracked the ice, but it's not. It's definitely not your last. So you already know the season coming up. So I would love to catch up with you to see how far you are and how the ladies are doing. From today. So
Right.
um,
Okay.
thank you so much, and you have a good one.
All right, you too. Thank you for having me
All
again.
right. All right, you guys, there you have it. Our special guest, Mr. Ansaun Fisher. He is the owner and the head coach of the Florida Lady All Stars. That concludes our conversation for the week. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for your continued support. And if you are following both platforms here on Instagram, please be sure to click on our stories to see who next week's guest is. Other than that, again, if you want to know more information on what's going on around the league, community resources, um, if you would like to become a head coach, an assistant coach, a basketball player, a team owner, and again, speaking of team ownerships in the WABA, league expansion is open until April the 30th of this year. If this is you, yes, I am talking to you. I would suggest that you immediately DM them here on Instagram at Women's ABA or log on to www.womensaba.com. This is the League of Opportunity. So please, 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 if you don't listen to anything else that I say, I suggest you get in contact with them today. Happy MLK weekend. This is Helen Bohanna with She Knows Her Sports. Have a great weekend. Please stay safe. And if you do go out, please, please, please do these three things: wear your mask, social distance, and wash your hands. Until next time, I'll see you next week.